Scepter on Disruptor, stuff like that.
That is very true. There's a lot of similarities with both of these drafts, but also kind of looking at the big engagement levels. You got the level 6 for the Brewmaster, can already start pushing the lane, but the thing is, the Terrorblade's probably not even there anymore by the time this Brewmaster would like to start brawling with level 6. TV also knows it. Not the highest amount of max HP. A couple magical spells available with those Brewlings. They will hurt. It will hurt that TB for sure. Plus, he doesn't have a Sunder target as well at that point, so Kataro, Minos, gonna have to be careful with that. But we are looking at a first level 1 brawl here. Onto the Nature's Prophet, brought back with that glimpse as well, and that's gonna be Leo style.
And that goes to SF, yeah.
SF First Blood, that's huge.
That is a massive First Blood. He's gonna have an instant bottle. This is a matchup where the Lina, you'll have an advantage, and you get to some point in this matchup if you play the first couple waves really well where SF can't step up, but when he gets First Blood like that, I think it's almost impossible to shut this hero down unless you get some type of rotation.
Oh,
but we'll have to see. This Lina has been buffed a bit. The Dragon Slave does do a damage over time now, just pure free damage on top of it.
Yep.
Maybe it'll be too much for this SF to take. And that goes back to like this First Blood being so valuable, being able to get extra region early on here.
Yeah, mid lane battle is going to be pretty huge. Like, we've got two talented mid players of this region going up against each other, fighting for the pride of not only just their country, but their region at the same time, trying to, you know, win over the region's fans over their side. And a coveted, you could almost say this is kind of like the grand finals in the upper bracket final session, because this is truly two teams that would deserve the spot, but only one can take it in this series. The loser still has a second chance in the lower bracket finals, but they're not looking at that. They're looking at winning this one right away, marching through and taking that TI spot for themselves.
Yeah, and to cover really quickly on the laning stage and how I thought it would go, they actually decided to put King RD, their 4-player, in the safe lane with Sven, just being like, okay, we don't really prioritize our Sven's laning so much because he can always catch up and farm. Instead, they put this NP, the strong laner, into the bot lane here. And we'll see if it makes any difference here. It looks like they're still doing a great job on Kataro and Prada here. Yeah, especially with that Metamorphosis being popped.
They got that level 2 right away, went straight up on the Brewmaster, poked him down a half HP. And now KJ going to be poking Prada here a little bit. Brewmaster a bit too far away to help out. Can't really look for their first kill there, which could have been an opportunity. Both mid laners have their bottles pretty much exhausted. They've got the water runes, but at the same time, TB getting poked around with the Cinder Brew. Doesn't do a heck of a lot of damage, but it does mitigate versus that Tango. That's also just 2 Tangos left for Prada.
Well, it does proc it.
Oh, they TP mid, actually, with KJ going on to Leo style here. Gonna have to take the long route out. The Blood Grenade slowed him down. He is too far away for the Sprout. But if he gets a good cut from the corner, trying to cut down the trees as well with Tangos, no.
Could kill him, but yeah, okay. They're gonna back it up. Unfortunately, that TP does not result in the Sprout, and that would have been his death, as he has no way of getting outside of the
King
Sprout
RD,
here.
though, very low on the top lane. Costabile has to interrupt with the stun, so his Shaker can make his way out. A lot of brawling going on here. Not only just the top lane, the mid lane rotations in the bottom lane as well. FCR, that might just be another kill for the side of AcatSuki as they bring him in with the glimpse, and Prada will secure it. Top lane at the same time, Fissure onto 2, followed up with the Sven stun, but he is low. The tag team, he's too far away. Just got stuck on the spot with that Enchanto, and King RD trying to make a run for it, and he's actually gonna survive with 50 HP. Snowball diving under the tower, still going for the attempt. The stun comes out from the Aftershock. Qhali, he will get the kill with the help of Devil, but he will drop, and Devil now, he's stuck in the Sprout. KJ coming in for the rescue, and you got 2 split kills here. No one actually gets those 2 kills on the side of Vivo Keystars.
Or you can look at it, everyone gets them. Depends on how you want to look at it. But either way, like, yeah, this is the kind of like the Nature's Prophet that we see being banned so much. She's everywhere. If he would have teleported slightly better in that mid lane, Leostar would be dead as well, but it was pressure nonetheless. You have to run all the way back to base on Leostar. He's prioritizing winning his safe lane here, but that's going to leave Brewmaster out to dry, and I think it's the correct choice because they kind of tried to play to win on the bot lane, but then they realized this lane is not winnable, so we're just going to cut our losses here, and we're going to try to win our other 2 lanes rather hard here.
Yeah, Kotaro throwing in a bit of a tip to the Nature's Prophet. I believe that was Leo style, calling on conflict.
They go on top
What is
again.
this Furion doing here? And now he's in the top lane, all over the place. This Furion just bullying. And Vivo Keystars will find themselves a kill off this Underlord, left all by himself in the lane.
And you'll see FCR realizing he has no one to lane with is going to just take the bounty rune. And, oh, I thought he'd try and cut the wave there, but I guess versus a level 2 glimpse. Quite hard to do. Metamorphosis up. So Brewmaster's game is more than done.
And he's surrounded.
For sure here. Yeah, and he's getting ganked on top of it.
If he can connect this kill, that is definitely Brewmaster in absolute, he's in the trash. That's what AcatSuki's doing. They grab the Brewmaster, they put him inside the trash, they close the can. You ain't coming out of there just quite soon.
And this has to be worth it for them at some point. Not saying it is yet, but with these NP rotations, if they can kill SF a couple more times, if they can kill this Underlord another time or two, then it'll be worth it. But at the current point in time, I would say this is not really worth it. But still plenty of time to make things happen.
It's definitely a perspective to take a look at. As analog, Prada's going to be there, going to go for the glimpse play. Qhali gets the body block out, but the fissure interrupts. He still gets it off. And Leostar was already thinking, yeah, he's probably not going to make his way here. And Analog turn around to fight versus Qhali, and they will take Prada. And now they're going to look for this second kill as well. They will kill off KJ. Leostar will be able to solo him. Qhali dodging that Dragon Slave, but still Analog close enough for a right-click. King RD also low on HP. Leostar wanting the chase here, but King RD's got a bit too much HP. And with that long raise on cooldown, won't be able to secure him. 5-5. We got 10 kills in 6 minutes, and you wouldn't expect less.
Yeah, and this NP is just making this game a bloodbath. I'm surprised. He just TP'd right on the SF. He, of course, gave his life, but maybe bought a little bit of space to allow this Lina to get those 2 kills and back out. And I think the Lina is going to be going for more of that magical build this game. It did get buffed a lot, like I mentioned, with the Dragon Slave just doing extra damage now. And on top of that, the Aghanims a long time ago was buffed. So until he's not committing yet, he has no... Okay, it's a commitment now. He got the Arcane Boots. We're going to have ourselves a magic DPS hero in top lane with Billy.
Gonna try and snipe Devil here. Fissure block. He does have an avenue to escape.
No on Devil.
But he's too slow. He's too slow. The Snowball coming out. Herself coming on the road as well. Costa Pila is still going to get pushed in. Still with the Underlord. We'll locate him. Leo style. He's also around. Prada will bring in King RD with that glimpse. And still
no
on the
glimpse
hunt
now, so he should be able to just walk this one out here. Could have probably saved his Underlord there if he really wanted to on the Tusk, but decides to let him die and go for the kill on Shaker instead. Kill for a kill, but that is an offlaner for a position 4 here. A little bit favoring the keyed stars here.
So a bit of a question for you here at this point. Both of the offlaners are struggling this game. They are 1,000 gold already behind the rest. They're starved in experience. Which one is of more use in this particular game? Brewmaster at level 6, of course, he's still got crowd controlling abilities, but would you rather have, would the Underlord still be more effective than the Brewmaster, or is it just, initiation based? As Kataro's being hunted at the same time. Oh, the Laguna Blade.
He's got no Sunder.
He can't get it.
He just doesn't have it available, and Analog is starting to realize, all right, he just doesn't have it. Dragon Save will be used. Tick, tick. Needed one more right click. And I think they were scared of the Sunder there, thinking he might have it.
Don't know about it.
He went just, I'm just going to be greedy and farm build. So kind of got away with his greed here, unpunished. Just always a threat. You can never know if it's skilled or not.
Yeah.
Of course, if he does have that Sunder, pops it and pops meta and Lina dies for that kill, you're going to feel pretty bad about it.
Yeah,
So
or just in general, like throwing a reflection.
And again on this top lane, God's Strength will be expended, and this will be another kill onto Devil here. But Kataro's, he's going to TP and try to make a trade.
He's trying to bully the Nature's Prophet, and he's actually going to be successful in doing so. Reflection giving vision. So he will be taken down, and at the same time, Analog
Lina goes down.
hunted down. I was looking at mid when that engagement started in top, and I was like, okay, are they going to go for Analog? I guess they will. Yeah, they will. So 1 kill on both ends, even if Devil does end up dropping.
I mean, and to answer your question here, it's really hard to say which hero is better sacked, the Brewmaster or the Underlord, as they both can function without a lot of farm, right? So I think they're in similar spots where they're okay being sacked. It's not like some Viper or Nature's Prophet offlane getting sacked. You'll still find your impact, and with with the Brewmaster, it's going to be through your ultimate, through your spells. Same thing for the Underlord. You're not going to be the tankiest hero ever, but eventually you're still going to build items like Crimson Pipe and just mitigate damage. And you can always come back pretty quickly with the Firestorm to get your farm. So it's definitely not the end of the world for either of them here. But really just have to take a big look at, I think the pos 4s are pretty big here. Shaker daggers, Tusk
They're going
daggers.
again for Devil, maybe?
But the big cores, the mid Lina, the mid Shadow Fiend, the Terrorblade, and the Sven, these guys are going to be the ones that have the network this game. And your offlaners, they're going to be like your true offlaners in this game. Just kind of just getting the bad farm and just dealing with it.
The hard lane life. For a very long time, it has seemed that the off lane is the easier lane, at least for the pos 3s to have their impact. I don't think it's changed too much with this patch compared to the previous one, where it was all about the offlaners creating impact and slowing down the enemy carry, and through that you have an avenue to victory. Maybe it has waned down a little bit now, though, with these extra camps. The carries can just leave. The offlaners are still going to be big and farm, but so are the carries that are their counterparts.
Yeah, and KJ is going a little bit of a unconventional build here for the support. He's actually maxing the Nature's Call here. A bit more greedy. Normally see Sprout plus teleportation more favored here and just try to be active, but realizing this game is probably going to slow down a little bit because they don't really have a playmaker. I think it may have been Lina if she had a good laning stage, but this hero's not going to run around and gank. Brew had too bad of a game. Sven, of course, is Sven. He's just going to hit creeps until probably around that Blink Dagger or BKB timing. Then he'll want to join. But for now, Brewmaster ult is online. He wants to make something happen. Ideally, they get a core kill. SF is the best hero they could possibly kill just because he is easy to kill. And he's a nice big old piggy bank.
So how often do you see a Terrorblade rushing in this aggressively looking for kills, where Kataro making it work? They found the Furion, and Costabile, all he can do is throw a stun. FCR coming up the back, King RT looking up for the stun. Terrorblade, he doesn't have that Sunder just quite yet. Actually, he can't even get a point in Sunder, so he's in huge trouble and will be taken down. And that aggression, KJ, I'll tip you for that. What the hell are you doing here, TV?
Oh, the echo, he tried. Just barely missed it there. Pops
it's just an echo in the wind.
It is indeed, and they're pinging on bot lane here. Like, you might want to get back, but with no echo on the Shaker. I think Shaker just wants to potentially just farm his dagger here. He's getting pretty close. 1,300 gold. That could be a big time problem, and we're kind of seeing the issues with Terrorblade versus Brewmaster. Sure, he didn't have Sunder skilled, but even if he did, I don't think it matters. You can't Sunder these Brewlings. Even if you could, it's like not the biggest deal, right? So he's going to always go in on the Terrorblade, dispel his illusion, stun him up, allow them to get that chain stun. I think this Blink Dagger on Shaker will be really good follow-up to have on TB.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the best things you can get, is just getting as much control and nuke and stuns on top of a Terrorblade. Pretty much his weakness. Every time he's like, well, I'm going to start loading up my Sunder, I'm at 50%, and bam, stun locked. Shaker Fissure, Enchant Totems, Echo Slams.
So yeah, I'd like to see them prioritize that Blink Dagger, right? Give them that farm on the bot lane. It is going to be a big factor in this particular game.
Meanwhile, they have located themselves a potential target of this Tusk.
Dead.
Easy snipe
Aether Lens range. That's a nice little freebie for Analog here, as he is opting to go for Boots of Travel now. Can they get the vision for the glimpse? If they can, he could die. And there it is.
Well, the full-on combo. They even got a Requiem loaded up, but they don't need it. They're just going to right-click Lina down the old-fashioned way, and Costabile, he's coming in and throwing was KJ. They've got Leo Star, but a beautiful Requiem into the teleport out. Prada, if he falls, that's fine. They've already got themselves a good kill, and they're happy with this trade-off. They forced 4 heroes to the rescue of a dead Lina, and they also get the Shadow Fiend away. So that was a great play from AcatSuki.
Yeah, I wonder if this Shaker will do a Dendy Slam soon. Just farm neutrals with your first couple echoes here. Could be worth it.
Dubbing it the Dendy Slam now? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it is the Dendy Slam. Every game he played Shaker, he stacked everything and just used Echo on it.
Yep.
Doesn't really need to do it versus just this big camp since there's no Ancients.
Yeah, I'm just kind of whispering for King. Do it! Do it! Do it! No.
He's not going to do it.
He
will farm it, which I do like to see. And after that, he most likely will pick up the Wisdom Rune, and there you go. You're just 100 gold off Blink Dagger now. You could just income that if you want to.
Good timing for it, too. Now you can really start setting things up with KJ, with this Furion teleporting around. Your Brewmaster is in an okay shape, actually building a comeback Midas for this Brew. I don't think that's a bad idea at all, considering how far behind you had to start in this game. Still bottom net worth of all the cores, behind the Underlord as well by 500. Devil, who's been recovering, well, basically has been in recovery mode for a while. We'll be able to surpass him. Just need the auras on the Underlord, and that's all you need to do. Stay alive in fights. Provide the auras for your team. That's it.
That's it.
Meanwhile, Roche.
It's true. With the Tusk really helps out here. Not only just the passive aura of being able to slow it, the attack speed, but the activatable too. And one single train comes through the gate. Like, guys, there's someone coming through the gate. Let's stop. That's pretty funny.
I love that. You know, it's a bit of humor in there as well. You know, I'm just sending in a Treant for Vision. They might be doing Roche, but, you know, from our perspective, just a single lone Treant shows up. And Leo style for the Aegis. That's the right one to carry it. TB doesn't need it. Shadow Fiend, very good with an Aegis.
Yeah, and I was very curious to see if this SF was going to go the magic build that we've seen before. It's been nerfed, of course, with the Arcane Blink not being quite as good on the hero. It's just not that good on the hero, but you can still do other things to play around your magic damage. But nope, he's going physical damage. No BKB, straight into just mobility. As NP has placed some deep wards here. And he's trying to... He missed attack on the courier, but it doesn't matter. He'll get the kill. Get the Sentry D ward. They're just taking that their home, the triangle, for a little bit. As Qhali does have a Blink Dagger available for him. And maybe is that a BKB coming out too? No, not just quite yet. But he is very farmed. He's the most farmed hero in the game right now. Let's see what he goes. You know what item I want him to go? Have you learned yet with my Sven praise? What's the item of the game here?
The Revenant?
Revenant's Brood. That's it. That's the one versus Terrorblade.
You remember something. Maybe I have learned a few things from you.
There you go. I'll still keep preaching it until someone actually does it. But this is the one way Sven can kill a Terrorblade. Get the Revenant's Brood, get that burst damage through magic damage, and TB will actually melt. But I don't want to see it like right now.
It was actually the same matchup with Sven versus TB as well when you were talking about it in the first place, right? Now I see the connection here.
It is, yeah. It's one of the few ways that you can make this matchup bearable, or at least scary for the TB. Because it does give you True Strike, it gives you magic damage, two things that kind of destroyed Terrorblade, because he is a Butterfly enjoyer, high armor enjoyer. And if you go traditional items on the Sven, you're never going to outcarry him. But if you have the Revenant's Brooch, and I'm talking you're going to probably buy it after you have BKB, after you have a Harpoon, and then of course after a Daedalus, and then I'd go for it. Kind of like fifth item.
One of the other cool Aghanims in this game, the Lina Flame Cloak with 35% spell app, also a pretty frisky one. So it hasn't been built too often when the Lina was played as a position 1 carry, winning games through physical damage right clicks. But now kind of getting a bit of a taste of that, caster Lina, which we did discuss during the draft. You brought it up as well, that it's an avenue, it's a possibility you can look at. And of course, when you have this Sven already...
The preferred way to play the
preferred
right
way,
now.
maybe in this particular game as well, yeah.
And
maybe even in general.
Lina. Yeah, in general. We haven't seen it carry Lina very frequently just because all the nerfs it has received, but they keep buffing the magic one, and I think that's just how it's going to be. As
setting up in bottom,
Sven down there, he
Costabile. Oh,
has
that's a good
BKB.
position. They can grab this Sven right away. Right-clicking already pretty early on, but he gets pushed away from the shards. And with that BKB, he's going to be fine. Nothing to interrupt that.
They wanted to get like some Requiem and Tusk Punch type of combination there, but it's just too hard. They don't have enough lockdown. Underlord won't help at all with that. Neither will Prada on his Disruptor. But what that does mean is BKB's on cooldown. Now it's time to hunt. If you find Sven again, he doesn't have that option to pop BKB and get out of jail free again. But can they find him?
Can they find him indeed? Yeah, that is super hard to actually execute when you think about it, because if you want a Walrus Punch, that's like 1 second of airtime, and your Requiem load up takes a bit longer than that. So if you show yourself with a, Force Staff into Requiem and you see a Tusk blinking in, you've already pressed BKB by then. Like you're gonna have fat, slow fingers if you haven't pressed BKB by the time they both show up on your screen. That's a pretty difficult combo for them to execute.
And that's why Costabile was pushing that lane so confidently, because he's like, yeah, they would have to do some crazy execution here to kill me, so I can be a little bit greedier, force them down there, make some space for my team. Sure, the BKB charge going down from 9 to 8 is a little bit annoying, but I think that right now they're just happy with getting a net worth advantage. Already at 4K now here at 20 minutes into the game. Tormentors are now live if teams do want to opt for them. And I've noticed in these type of games that we are seeing a lot of Tormentor kills, because it's been very difficult for them to be aggressive and get on the other side of the map. So if you're already there, you might as well take it. It's a pretty good gold boost for your team.
Well, let's see how things are going to be evolving from here. Lina has just finished her Aghanims. Sven's lining up a Crystallis here. Furion also one step closer to building that point booster.
And that Shaker Shard, if you can get it from the Tormentor, is definitely a good one.
Yeah. And Tusk is like, I want 2 Ags, please.
Yeah.
1 for each hand. Imagine if Aghanim Scepter just kind of replaced the weapon you're using as the model on your hero,
Nice.
Except for the ones who just don't use weapons, like Shadow Fiend,
It gives you a little aura now, at least, so it does give you something.
Yeah,
King RD with the Blink Dagger available. There is a shielded Shadow Fiend here, as he's going to try and get out.
On the
Is he going
hunt
to guess
here,
this?
and
King RD,
SF
Blink is
spotted.
up. Oh, that was close.
Very, very close. Maybe too close to comfort as well. And KJ, well...
Where is he at? Just NP things, trying to get a deep board into feed.
Trying to come out from the other side, but looks like he's found the enemy first. Well, I think that's a huge loss. It is a support Nature's Prophet after all.
Yeah, we're probably going to see a lot of that throughout this game, but he's still getting his farm. He might be dying a lot, but he is by farm, and by no surprise, most farmed hero on the map right now. And of course, he is going for that Aghanim Scepter, already has the Solar Crest online, and that's going to be more of a nuisance, just rooting this Tusk in place, rooting TB and all of his illusions into place. Sure, maybe you might go BKB or Manta to get out of this root at some point, but it'll still hit your illusions, which is never nice.
And it's going to hit someone. And look at that. King RD thrown into the air. Earthshaker, another pick off going for AcatSuki. And Leo Style with that assist gold that he's gaining. He's finished his BKB now. It's fully built on the courier, on its way. So that could also be a bit of a surprise element against
Kataro soon as well.
And that too.
And this is an item you're kind of like forced into, because yeah, you're playing versus Lina. The Aghanim Scepter no longer is that one that pierces the spell immunity. That one is a level 25 talent now. So when you're playing versus Lina and you're playing versus even Brewmaster Shaker, I think you need a BKB, even though this item isn't super popular right now. But with the draft that VKS does have, kind of a necessity here. But that's also a power spike, where you can maybe take this next Roshan. It may respawn in 40 seconds here. We'll see how long of a timer we do get. But if it's a short one, that's going to favor the side of AcatSuki here.
Yeah, we'll see. Want to do a bet again?
And the timer?
Predictions?
I'm feeling a 120 right now.
You're at 120. I'm gonna say 10 seconds.
10 seconds?
Yep.
You are on bold, man.
can be anything from 0 to 180, so I'm going to go 10 seconds. Meanwhile, the bottom tier 2 push is happening. AcatSuki, they could let this
I'm
tower
saying
go.
120 as 1 minute 20 seconds, not 100.
Well, they could be fighting it.
Let's see.
208. It's a long one. Once again, not surprised.
I win again.
Yeah, so surprised Pikachu here.
Your prediction.
Oh, this Brewmaster going in pretty deep here to surprise by that disruptor.
Okay.
Costa going to jump onto Qhali as well. The Requiem will connect and will fear out the Sven, but this snowball will follow through. Analog doing a bit of burst and the Echo Slam! Big one from King RD. It drops Prada low, but it's not enough for the TV. Costa is going to need some backup as well, but they're running away on the side of Vivo. Keystars. Qhali, he will get sliced down by Costa and Tusk coming with the buyback as well. Lina stunning the TV and the Shadow Fiend. Prada will, no, not yet. Gets the clips off just in time. Analog gonna get sundered up. And oh, if only that one right click had finished off the disruptor right away, that Lina could have walked out, but that right click, it was not enough damage, and that glimpse came back off cooldown, sent the Lina back in, and to her death.
And that's your double BKB timing here that we talked about being so strong for AcatSuki. And more than anything is going to be the fact that this Brewmaster just wasn't able to get ulti off, right? The silence from the disruptor just keeping him locked down. No ultimate there. You get glimpsed back by Costabile here. Of course, he has a BKB. I do like the factor at some point that Costabile did keep his composure here. You'll see Qhali go in and try to make things happen, but we got action.
Oh no, and it's actually catching the Sven as well. This time the Brewmaster, he's got his ulti available. However, just getting right-clicked. Theo style has no fear versus these elements.
Brew?
Already lost one. Still got two low HP ones.
Going in.
2 seconds left. And that Void is the final one. There goes your Courier Shadow Fiend. Meanwhile, the stun onto Devil. Costabile, he's got God Strength enabled. Snowball. Short range one. Costabile, he blinks in for nothing right now. This Sven is in trouble. He's got his BKB though. He's going to go in. He's going to charge and look for the fight against Kotaro battling versus the TV. But there's a Sunder available. FCR going to get pushed away. But Leo's not going for the teleport out. Is it enough? Yes, it is. He's out with just a sliver of HP remaining. Devil being chased by Costabile. That's going to be the Underlord falling down. And inside the Roche Pit, FCR. Kotaro already teleporting out. They've got the Disruptor glimpsed away. Analog, he wants some payback for that last fight versus the Disruptor. And the connection, it's not there. Prada rolling out. Looks like Prada might be able to get away too. 10 seconds to upward cooldown, but BKS...
Just ignore him and go straight into Roshan here.
Yeah, Roche is an opportunity.
And even though Brewmaster got his ulti off there and it didn't look like it did a lot, it did enough. It just bought time for the Shaker to respawn, for the Lina to respawn. And I think that's going to be a top priority for Brew this game. Don't die without getting your ultimate off, because we see the night and day difference with him being alive and with him being dead in these fights.
Now it's a cheese as well on top of the Aegis.
And Lina might just get an Aegis here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the Aegis. Yeah. I was like, Aegis, a bit of a brain fart there for a second. But yep, Lina for the Aegis, and the cheese, it will be in Brewmaster's hands. Just to prevent that Disruptor ulti from killing him. So that's going to be a bit awkward for Prada. Like, oh, I see Brew. I'm going to ult him. We're going to kill him. But now he has a cheese.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to commit TB right clicks if you do want to kill this hero. Maybe even the Shadow Fiend. And if you're doing that, who's killing the Lina? Who's killing the Sven? This Aegis and Cheese being absolutely huge for VKS. You know, ACAT. Just farming up. They have their BKBs. Kotaro is going for the Daedalus. More damage the merrier. And I think Shadow Fiend will be doing something similar in this game.
Yeah.
Maybe a Butterfly, maybe a Daedalus. Maybe a Silver Edge could be good as well, but you know they both want to be these right-clicking carries. At some point, they want to be able to just click these Brew illusions and kill them out of the game.
Yeah, everyone has a role. Everyone has a role in the team. Devil with the auras, stay alive, damage dealing from the SF and the TB. Disruptor, potentially just ulting any non-BKB target right away, and he's got that Aghanims lined up as well for the item mute. That big buff for the Disruptor. That's going to be you get a whole variety of options after that. You built that. You can start disrupt ulting the Sven. You can start doing it on the Lina. Lina, who does not have a BKB,
they have two of some of the best late game supports in Dota 2 right now. You have the Aghanims that you just covered for the Disruptor and how good it is, but then you have the Ags queued up, but there's also progress being made towards it on the Tusk. So you can kick heroes back into that static storm.
It's in the works.
Those are win conditions. It's definitely in the works here. He's got a piece. He's a fourth of the way there.
Tier 3 token also flying all the way towards him. Empty neutral slot. At that 27-minute marker. Quickening charm. They're hanging out the top lane. Look across the Qhali. Oh, surprise.
He got him.
And he shows him, oh, the echo into the fissure. Beautiful execution.
Make it
On
two.
point.
I mean, the Tusk was like, I'm not going to snowball here. You already used your stun, so I'm just going to hit you, and we're going to turn this. But the Fissure and the Echo was right on point there. And that's going to be a concern of this SF here. Maybe this Terrorblade isn't easy for Sven to kill, as we see whenever they get in a head-versus-head engagement, so that Possibility always does have to back out from that. It's just going to be too strong. But that won't be the case for the Shadow Fiend. He can burst through SF any day of the week.
That was also death number 1 for Mr. Leo style.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Such a good Shadow Fiend game so far. And Costabile, he's now the only one. 706.
Especially, but unfortunately, this style of SF he is playing, it doesn't scale very well when you already have another hard carry. You kind of have to be the star of the show. And he was doing a great job of it, but now it's like, kind of once that BKB blink, you know, sheep step into like Ags type of build.
Yeah, it feels like he's
transitioning.
He's transitioning now for sure. Might just have to be another damage battery, just exactly what they need.
But will he get the farm to do that? This is the issue I see with this mid SF that goes for these right-click builds. Once you start falling off just a little bit, you fall off really hard. Dreams of a Manta style, it's okay.
They're definitely not new to any of these long, late games in the Thunder Awaken series for Vivo Stars. They had a 51-minute and a 52-minute game versus Thunder Awaken. 56 minutes versus Mad Kings. AcatSuki might have stumped the first series. Also 66 minutes versus their ex-team, Infinity. Don't get bamboozled by the in-game logo. That is AcatSuki, the ex-Infinity roster. So if they can stretch this game far, that would maybe it serves a purpose for them. You talked about the supports with their late game scalability. Terrorblade, of course, a force to be reckoned with. And that Shadow Fiend, you've got so many options. Just got to get there first, right?
Yeah. Well, interesting to see the Brewmaster go for the Aghanims in this game. You will have that permanent extra hero that can dispel more illusions. And that's kind of like the issue for Kotaro here. Like, most all his damage, if not all his damage, is going to be based on his hero and his illusions. You got so many plays of dealing with them. Like, their extra echo damage, the cleave can deal with them, but more importantly, the Brewmaster. As Tusk, he'll just get out of that one.
Well, now that we have the Aegis has been reclaimed, still the cheese for FCR. And it has been a bit of a farm fest for the time being. A 14k lead. Maybe AcatSuki is considered to play a little bit from behind. But I wouldn't say this is still detrimental. Even the win probability graphs kind of agreeing that the next fight is not the end of the game.
Definitely is not. But I do have issues with like how this game is going for ACAT right now. It's this NP is already sneaking up above the Underlord's net worth. He's going into a nullifier, already has a BKB. There's going to be a new carry entering this game the later it goes, and that's going to be the boss 5 here on KJ. He is going to be a carry, BKB up, Aghanims up, Solar Crest up, nullifier up, and then as soon as that nullifier goes up, well, new challenger has entered the ring here that they're going to have to deal with. And that's not going to be an easy task. And you're up 15,000 gold here. And that's just pretty much all gold being on KJ pretty much at that point.
Disruptor showing himself there at the bottom lane. Instantly pinged out, analoged. He's going to lead the troops. That 9-second BKB now finished on the Lina. And KJ literally on top of the Disruptor. Glimpsed out. He is out.
Back to farming. Didn't have a stun anyway to deal with that teleport.
This area is KJ's favorite spot right here. He loves coming back here with that ward placed on that cliff. He's died here like, what, twice, maybe 3 times. He's potentially found some openings. Well, Devil, talking about openings, already found here by FCR. He's got that Primal Companion, the Storm, ruling, going all around the place. Cyclone, Dispel Magic.
That's a smoke from ACAT here. They want to find something. Not sure what they're looking for, as Roshan can't even possibly be up right now. So even if they do get a kill, the chances of that Rosh being instant spawn, incredibly low.
But you're saying they're looking for possibility?
There, of course, is. As KJ, he does have a BKB here. Might not be enough to save him, as there's a lot of physical damage coming out. And do you even want to go that deep? That's the other question.
He's going to have to be careful of his positioning here. ACAT's been missing for quite some time, and now Vivo Stars are going to be pushing bottom. Straight to the high ground they
go. Solar Crest him. Oh, yeah. That's damage.
Yeah, Demolish with Solar Crest. Magic Community.
I mean, that's even into the Crimson. Pretty respectable DPS, I gotta say. Gets to the point where you just can't leave this undefended because it's little brew.
Yeah, you gotta love it. He's got like what? Oh, that's a fast Rosh. That's a fast Roshan.
That is a very fast one.
It might actually serve ACAT here. Leo style, taking a quick glimpse there into the pit, but
it's so fast that you probably are just like, nah, there's no way.
There's no way. Yeah, you wait another minute, and that also allows Vivo Stars, who've literally looked at the clock right now, that Roshan around somewhere right now, or maybe in a minute or 2 minutes, which is the usual one. And now
here comes the tree and scout it out.
They're going to find out first.
And actually, VKS is going to be the first one to know about this Rosh being up. So they're going to have to move quickly and be like, wow, Rosh is actually up. This is a quick spawn. We need to rally the troops here and defend this, as we will see Costabile TPN.
And they also need to push that top wave, so they will also be revealed. But the thing is, ACAT's still not going quite into the pit. Now they are. Rosh is there. Treants are flying through the portal. More scouts. And the information now given, 5-man smoke, they're pushing down the wave. They know they have about 10 seconds, and all hell is about to break loose. Devil, he's in position on the high ground here. Want to be ready to intercept them. And that Rosh is down to half HP. You got to get there fast if you want to interrupt it. Vivo Stars on their way. Devil, he's still, there's his little right there. There's the Storm. Cyclone into the air. Rosh down to 800. And they finished it. And they even put themselves with the Requiem just in case. At the same time, the fight's going to be breaking loose. They've got Brewmaster, 4 heroes stuck right next to each other. Nice stun coming out from Analog. Holding Qhali in place. Holding Devil in place. They've lost Parada. They've lost Qhali. Qhali coming up with the buyback. Kataro. Oh, Kataro down. There's a cheese in the pit. There's a cheese in the pit. They don't care about it. Analog, I want this. He will take it. And there's your Aegis also gone. Shadow Fiend dead. And Vivo Stars, thanks to the Treant Scouts, they were just in time, not for Rosh, but to interrupt the escape and cut them down.
And we have to question the decision there to continue to take that fight, even though they popped the SF ult immediately to just secure the Rosh, right? So you no longer have that for the team fight. You're down a big, sizable lead at this point. They tried to go on the Brewmaster because you did have Agnum Scepter available for the Disruptor, but you just didn't have any follow-up on it, where he tanked the whole Ag Scepter, and he got his cheese off anyway.
Yeah. And they have another cheese. So it's just left in the pit for Analog to pick up, so it's not even that they lost all the items in the Rosh pit. They got something out of it. And they saved Echo Slam, which is still up, by the way. Shaker can use it. Devil gonna get controlled, and there we go. Qhali trying to save him with the Blink Snowball. Gets hit by the instant Echo, and King RD worthy of the tip with that. Pixel perfect Echo Slam on that Blink Savior. Glimpse coming out. Prada will bring in Costabile. He's low on HP. But just where's the damage? Where's the damage coming from? Is it enough? Yes, it is. By the looks of it, Leo style. He's angry. He's angry. And he forces out King RD. Prada, 4 seconds for another glimpse. Is he able to get this one? He should be. Thunderstrike's not going to be leaving anytime soon. And he will catch the Shaker. Get themselves something as they've lost the mid-racks inside their base. But it's just not enough. It's a 2-for-2 trade, even with the Sven dying for the first time this game, by the way. But look at that probability.
Godlike streak though, so that's a lot of gold going into the pocket of Prada of all people, getting that on the Disruptor. So that actually is pretty big for Prada, because now he's going to have that Blink Dagger on top of that Aghanims. If he can do that again, catch the Sven, maybe the Lina. I mean, the Sven by far is the best. Can't use Satanic, can't use BKB. Of course, all of his other items rendered useless. And we're seeing the Brewmaster do a lot of damage to these illusions here with that Aghanims. And they'll all burn down here to the Lina.
And coast to coast we go. Fury and ult used, they're going to be all rooted up. Leo Style has Requiem available again. So is the Static Storm of cooldown in 6 seconds. Sven still gone for 30, has buyback, but they will let these mid-racks fall. It's 1 lane of racks each per team if they can finish off the melee racks. Shaker's up.
You want to get too greedy
has
here.
Echo Slam available again. They got the stun on the TB. A lot of damage with that Laguna Blade. Fisher coming out. Echo Slam as well. Followed up. They wanted to get him. And he gets his BKB off. Just 300 damage short.
And Kataro. Okay.
Oh, the BKB ran out. They didn't see him. Yeah, he's out. Prada, not lucky.
He'll go down. He still has buyback. Decided not to buy the Blink Dagger there, just so he could have buyback. But when he respawns, you might see him purchase that one. And Static Storm was just unfortunately on a little bit of cooldown there, or he would have popped it and tried to kill a hero in that fight there. They did disengage. They got the ranged barracks, so not bad overall. Still down 23k. A lot of game to be played. There's a refresher shard.
That's gone for 70 seconds because they used it for the high ground push. So if EKS can regroup into position for a high ground push, they know the TP is not going to be a threat for a while, even if he does hold a refresher shard.
Yeah, he's got a refresher available if something happens, but most likely, I don't see VKS.
They're not going. Yeah,
going high ground. It seems very unlikely. I think the consensus has been for most teams, just don't force high ground 5 vs 5 in the late game. And that's generally the correct call.
The game has really just come down to contesting Roshan. That's where we're going to see the majority of the team fights. And then the follow-ups where there's a bit of a, I like to call it PMA, but it's called post-mental aftermath, where you've lost a team fight and somebody suddenly gets caught somewhere, and it's a bit of a, a slight chain feed type of scenario, but you know the opponent is weak at that point. So you either get to hold better, or then they just have less defenders inside the base and it's easier to siege. So yeah, like when you said 5v5, you don't go high ground, it really does feel like it's just down to the Roche fights now.
Yep. Positioning, Roche fights. Roche gives you so many little things nowadays. These refresh shard, cheeses, and of course the Aegis. Almost feels like the Aegis sometimes is the least impactful one, because when it gets to ultra late game, it carries, or the hero that does the most damage doesn't even have space for it. But there's always space for a refresher shard on like some Shaker or some hero like that can make some big waves in the team fights.
Shaker making literal waves.
That is going to be on the Terrorblade, who's going to have double BKB, which is huge, and double Sunder could be big. And of course, that Metamorphosis getting refreshed is the big one there.
Yeah, Refresher in itself, if it was a shard or an orb, is a huge item for the Terrorblade because of not only just the second BKB, but the Metamorph 150-second cooldown. You're not getting Spell Prisms or anything like that to reduce that Octarine course. Now, what the hell are you thinking? That's a TB we're talking about. It's just straight up Refresher for this hero that really is worth it.
And if you want to kind of look at difference of the carries here, you got a level 26 Sven versus a level 21 Terrorblade. He's got 5 levels on him, so already unlocked that 25 talent, doing even more damage here on the Sven. He's looking scary, but we saw his one death this game. Where was it? Going to the high ground of the enemy team. He feels like if he probably doesn't go high ground here in a 5v5 situation, he most likely will not die. And look at that. The Nature's Prophet talked about this pos 5 NP eventually scaling into a core.
Absolute stonks. FDR actually found Leo Style. Will walk into the Brewmaster. Here comes Devil. Kiri gonna get the jump across the Bila. He will get nothing out at the same time, but the stun's there. Sven controlled. Sven getting killed and deleted off of the server. KJ, he's gonna get trapped inside the shards. He's looking for the TP out. Costabile instant buyback with the Sven. And there goes King RD. Pretty alone there with that Echo Slam on Kataro. But the stun from Analog. Costabile Qhali following up with that buyback. Can he get this kill on the TV? He's low on HP. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. And onto the Shadow Fiend they go as well. Leo Stahl's going to be the next one to drop in. Vivo Key Stars. They are removing them one by one, leashing up the Underlord as well, and bringing him to, well, I mean,
There's no buyback.
Taking him back to Graveyard.
They gave the refresher, by the way, to the Shadow Fiend there. Maybe if you had refresher still on this Terrorblade, because he did buy out a full Swift Blink, we're going all in here. And I think Kostabili knew that, and he's like, oh, you're going to buy out your items here. I'm just going to buy back. You've got no Static Storm. And unfortunately, for the Terrorblade, he had no refresher.
Shard. The refresher shard is on the SF. It's on the SF.
That's what I'm saying.
That is kind of painful when you think about it, that it could have actually been pretty helpful there, but what can you do? What can you do? You have to give up this first game, and you're giving it to Vivo Key Stars, one step away from TI.
Yeah, the VKS, they looked really good in this game. I gotta say, Kostabili, Sven, didn't really miss a beat in this game. Maybe that one